tell anyone this, but do you want to know the truth?
See the man who won't stay for you and you, getting all the piece of pie for your wife. Everybody wanna know how it feels. Everybody wanna see what it's like. My baby wanna be a queen. Well, alright, we all deserve to find the things in this life.
Matthew Clark, Minister of Finance of Cuba.
Posta Pedluzhny, Secretary to Mr. Tsarkov.
I'm here for my meeting with Ryan Zankov.
What's your last name again, please?
Clark.
We have you here for 5:30, Mr. Clark, but the president's actually quite busy right now in a meeting, so I could just lead you to his office.
Okay, sounds good.
Right this way, sir. So, Mr. Clark, would you like to hear about some history on the World Bank while we wait?
Sure.
Alright, so originally founded in 1944, the International Bank of Reconstruction and Development, soon called the World Bank, expanded into closely associated group of 5 development institutions. Originally, its loans helped rebuild countries devastated by World War II, but in time, its focus shifted from reconstruction to development with a heavy emphasis on infrastructures such as dams, electrical grids, irrigation systems, and roads. And the founding of the International Development Association in 1960 put a greater emphasis on the poorest countries, part of a steady shift towards the eradication of poverty becoming the bank group's primary goal.
Interesting. And how often are your meetings?
Well, the members of countries' ministers of finance, such as yourself, they usually meet once a year at the annual meeting for the Board of Governors with the World Bank Group and the International Monetary Fund. However, at the bank, the executive directors, which make up the board of directors of the World Bank, they normally meet about twice a week to oversee the bank's business, including approval of loans, guarantees, new policies, the administrative budget, country assistance strategies, borrowing, and financial decisions.
And what were the results of the last meeting?
The results were actually quite positive, sir. Hi, I'm Ryan Zankov, the president of World Bank. How are you, sir?
Good, and you?
I'm good.
Matthew Clark, Minister of Finance of Cuba.
Nice to meet you, sir. Just gonna move my chair a bit. That's better. The last annual meeting we had at the World Bank was held in Bali, Indonesia from October 8th through October 14th of 2018. At the heart of the annual meetings, there were the annual meetings plenary session, the Joint World Bank Group and IMF Development Committee, and the IMF International Monetary and Financial Committee, which talk about the progress on the work of the 5 institutions. Furthermore, there were seminars that focused on the global economy, international development, and the world's financial markets. So, in the end of the 2018 annual meetings, the Development Committee stressed on the critical importance of building human capital. So, to help countries make more effective investments in people, the World Bank Group launched a new Human Capital Index at the meetings as part of a broader global human capital project that supports long-term, measurable progress toward better outcomes in education, health, nutrition, and social protection. So essentially, we promote a new message for the world, and that is to invest in people.
Wow, those results are great. I heard you had a lot of members though.
Yeah, World Bank consists of 189 members, and they include Afghanistan, Albania, Algeria, Angola, Antigua and Barbuda, Argentina, Armenia, Australia, Austria, Azerbaijan, Bahamas, Bahrain, Bangladesh, Barbados, Belarus, Belgium, Belize, Bhutan, Bolivia, Bosnia, Botswana, Brazil, Bulgaria, Burundi, Cambodia, Cameroon, Canada, Chad, Chile, China, Colombia, Comoros, Congo, Costa Rica, Cote d'Ivoire, Croatia, Cyprus, Czech Republic, Denmark, Djibouti, Dominica, Dominican Republic, Ecuador, Egypt, El Salvador, Eritrea, Estonia, Eswatini, Ethiopia, Fiji, Finland, France, Gabon, Gambia, Georgia, Germany, Ghana, Greece, Grenada, Guatemala, Guinea, Guyana, Haiti, Honduras, Hungary, Iceland, India, Indonesia, Iran, Iraq, Ireland, Israel, Italy, Jamaica, Japan, Jordan, Kazakhstan, Kenya, Kiribati, Korea, Kosovo, Kuwait, Laos, Latvia, Lebanon, Lesotho, Liberia, Libya, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Macedonia, Madagascar, Malawi, Malaysia, Maldives, Mali, Malta, Marshall Islands, Mexico, Micronesia, Moldova, Mongolia, Montenegro, Morocco, Mozambique, Myanmar, Namibia, Nauru, Nepal, Netherlands, New Zealand, Nicaragua, Nigeria, Norway, Oman, Pakistan, Palau, Panama, Papua New Guinea, and Paraguay, Peru, Philippines, Poland, Portugal, Qatar, Romania, Russia, Rwanda, Samoa, San Marino, Saudi Arabia, Senegal, Serbia, Seychelles, Sierra Leone, Singapore, Slovak Republic, Slovenia, Solomon Islands, Somalia, South Africa, South Sudan, Spain, Sri Lanka, Saint Lucia, Sudan, Suriname, Sweden, Switzerland, Syria, Tajikistan, Tanzania, Thailand, Timor-Leste, Togo, Tonga, Trinidad and Tobago, Tunisia, Turkey, Turkmenistan, Tuvalu, Uganda, Ukraine, UAE, United Kingdom, United States, Uruguay, Uzbekistan, Vanuatu, Venezuela, Vietnam, Yemen, Zambia, and last but not least, Zimbabwe. So, to become a member, however, a country must first join the International Monetary Fund, which is the IMF. So, the IMF oversees the international monetary system and monitors the financial and economic policies of its members. It keeps track of economic developments on a national, regional, and global basis, consulting regularly with member countries and providing them with macroeconomic and financial policy advice. The size of the World Bank shareholders, like that of the IMF shareholders, depends on the size of a country's economy. So, like the United States, they are the biggest shareholder of World Bank because they own the most shares and they have a huge and growing economy.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Clark. I forgot to tell you what the World Bank does. Basically, as the World Bank, we're an international organization that's dedicated to providing financing, advice, and research to developing nations and aid in their economic advancement. The World Bank was created out of the Bretton Woods Agreement as a result of many European and Asian countries needing financing to fund reconstruction efforts. As of 2016, though, the bank predominantly acts as an organization that attempts to fight poverty by offering developmental assistance to middle and poor income countries.
Oh yes, I saw that in my research. I also found out that the World Bank has expanded from a single institution that was created in 1944 to a group of 5 organizations. The first organization is the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, or IBRD for short, an institution that provides debt financing to governments that are considered middle income. The second organization within the World Bank is the International Development Association, or IDA, a group that gives interest-free loans to the governments of poor countries. The third organization, the International Finance Corporation, focuses on the private sector and provides developing countries with investment financing and financial advisory services. The fourth part of the World Bank is the Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, or MIGA, an organization that promotes foreign direct investments in developing countries. The fifth and final organization is the International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes, or the ICS. The fifth and final organization is the International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes, an entity that provides arbitration on international investment disputes.
Wow, that was quite impressive research that you have there. But while researching, did you come across that we actually set 2 goals to achieve by 2030? The first one being to end extreme poverty by decreasing the percentage of people living on less than $1.90 a day to less than 3%. And the second one being that we need to promote shared prosperity by fostering the income growth of the bottom 40% for every country.
No, I didn't, but that's really interesting.
You know what else is interesting? The benefits of our organization. So we provide low interest loans, 0 interest credits, and grants to developing countries. So these are good for poor countries as they could get big loans to expand their research and development, education, health, public administration, infrastructure, financial and private sector development, agriculture and environmental and natural resource management. With loans being low interest, the country could focus less on paying them back as soon as possible and instead the expansion of their economy and all the previous sectors mentioned. The second benefit being the World Bank shares information with world governments through policy advice, research and analysis, and technical assistance. And finally, our third benefit is that the bank provides training, assistance, and information and other means to developing countries so they can improve their various programs and institutions. The benefits of our organization most mainly helps towards developing countries because we want to eradicate poverty, which is one of our main goals. But one moment please, because I really have to go to the washroom, okay?
Don't tell anyone this, but do you want to know the truth? So, this is what they don't want you to see. Due to the fundamental structure of the bank, the already existing imbalance between the world's rich and poor is only made worse. The system allows the largest shareholders to dominate the vote, resulting in World Bank policies to be decided by the rich but implemented by the poor. And like Mr. Tsarkov said, the bank provides training, assistance, and information and other means to developing countries. But even though the bank does this, that may lead to sustainable development. Opponents have observed that developing countries often have to put health, education, and other social programs on hold just in order to pay back their loans. Opposition groups also protest by boycotting the World Bank bonds. These are bonds that the World Bank sells on global capital markets to raise money for some of its activities. These opposition groups also call for an end of all practices that require the country to implement structural adjustment programs, including privatization and government austerity measures, an end to debt owned by the poorest of the poor, and an end to the environmentally damaging projects such as mining or the building of dams.
Holy, that's a lot to take in.
Sorry guys, just got myself a cup of coffee, you know.
Well, welcome back, sir. Mr. Clark and I were just talking about what's your opinion on the value of the membership with the World Bank.
The value of membership is quite actually beneficial if the members understand how to take advantage of what the World Bank has to offer. So calculating and analyzing a country's economy is an essential skill to pay back a loan before the grace period expires, of course. So receiving a huge amount of loan money is always better in a large-scale economy because it allows many more opportunities for a member or country to grow.
Great, thanks, sir.
So any concluding thoughts? Do you want to ask me like any questions? Do you have any concerns?
First of all, I want to know if there's anything you're not telling me.
What do you mean by that?
Don't play games with me.
What is there not to tell? I told everything.
All of this is bullshit. He told me everything. When you're ready to tell me the truth, you can call me.